Hey everyone, my name is Tanya Tarvin. I wanted to shoot a little video to help you maybe learn a few tips and tricks for if you're doing your own competition makeup for the Beachbody Classic. This might help you with a few tricks to maybe do it yourself. I know having it professionally done could be quite expensive, and the Beachbody Classic competition is a little bit different than a regular professional fitness competition in that you have 2 days of the competition. So Thursday, you always you will pick your pre-judging time slot. So you pick that ahead of time, and on Thursday morning you go at that scheduled time slot, and that's when you check in. Don't make the mistake like I did last year. I chose a 9 o'clock time slot because I thought, well, that gives me time not to eat in the morning so I won't be bloated or anything like that, and then I can go get my judging done, over with, and then I could eat. Well, so I showed up at 9 o'clock thinking that my pre-judging time slot was, actually I showed up at 8 thinking that my pre-judging time slot was at 9, and come to find out check-in was at 9. So I stood around for a whole hour before I could even check in, and then they don't run on time. That's when you check in. So your time slot to check in, like in my case, was 9 o'clock, but by the time they actually got to my number category, it was more like 10:30, 11. So I was there at 8 o'clock, and I didn't get to be judged until almost 10:30, 11. I was starving by the time I got out. So hint of advice, if your nerves can handle it, is to get your judging time slot early, so that way you can go check in, get it done, and then go eat. So anyway, so your pre-judging will be on Thursday, and obviously that's the time that you are seeing the judges, and they are doing their preliminary judging and deciding who's going to be in the top 10. So you want to look your best, but know that it is not in a formal big arena that you'd normally see at a regular fitness competition. It is a backstage area that with the stage obviously, and then the panel of judges in front. So, and that is it. So usually they have high fluorescent lighting. So to wear full on dark, bold stage competition makeup may not be your best bet. So you want competition makeup obviously to look your best, but you don't want it so bold it's the only thing your judges focus on, because they want to focus on you, your body, your fitness, right? So your face should be an accent. Now Friday is when they actually have the finals, Friday night. So and yes, to get your makeup done again could be kind of pricey, and at the finals is when you want to have full on stage competition makeup, darker, because it is darker lights, a stage, and obviously an audience, so you can go for that darker evening competition look. So sorry, kind of got off track. What I would do, this is what I learned last year, is because on Friday evening the finals are like at 6 or 7 o'clock, and if you're going to the Beachbody Summit, you're actually going to sessions and everything all day, and I carried my makeup with me all day because I couldn't get back to the house that we were renting just to put on my makeup and get back for the final competition. So I carried my makeup with me all day. I've learned my lesson this year, and I've decided to invest in a long wear makeup. It's a little pricey, but at least now I could do my makeup in the morning, or most of it, and it will stay on all day, and then come the evening, early evening, all I have to do is kind of touch up or add some maybe my lashes or something like that, and I'm good to go. So I'm not carrying all my makeup with me all day. So, and if I had a workout or something like that, I know it will last. So it's up to you what kind of makeup you want to choose to use. I know it's, if you're new to the makeup world, it can get pricey. So you can go the cheaper route and buy drugstore makeup, and that's what I did, and it worked fine. But like I said, it wore off by the end of the day, and I was having to reapply it before the final competition. So, you know, if it's something that you want to invest in, invest in good makeup, then that's always a bonus too. So I'll include the links of all the stuff I'm using today. I'll put it in the comments below, and, you know, that way you know what I'm using. So anyway, whew, a little red and flushed, been out in the sun. So, okay, let's get started, guys. So, first thing you want to do is you want to get a smooth finish on your face. So you want to start with a primer. I have already put it on. Okay, it's just you know, kind of looks like a lotion. You can, so I recommend putting it on 10 to 15 minutes before you put on your foundation. Let it kind of soak into your skin, help set your makeup a little more. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the foundation. Actually, I'm going to start with a tiny bit of concealer. Okay, because I have some dark circles under eye. I obviously have some redness and some blemishes. So let's get that on. And normally I have a little tiny little makeup sponge, but apparently I didn't bring it. So we will be using my finger. Come on. Maybe. I don't want to come out today. There we go. Okay, so, and always use your ring finger, because if you don't know, it gets the lightest touch, especially under your eye, where your skin is the most delicate. And I'm going to be kind of liberal with it, because guess what? I'm going to go over with my foundation anyway. So it will all blend in. And this is a full coverage concealer, which I love. I don't know why. Let me squeeze it on my palette. I have one of these fabulous metal palettes I'll be using a lot today. So I usually use it for my foundation and my eyeshadow and everything, so I just squirt a little bit on my palette. That way I can. Okay. I like to put it on the inner of my nose, because for some reason around the base of my nose here it gets really red. Got a nice pimple right there. Awesome. Okay, so I obviously don't have a base tan done right now, so my foundation, normally I would choose a darker foundation, obviously, to 1 or 2 shades off of my tan. So this one's a little bit darker, but we will darken it up when we do contouring. So the method is still the same. So when you get your pre-tan done, choose a foundation that is a little bit darker. Obviously, it doesn't have to be exact, because a lot of times with your pre-tan, they're not going to spray your face, because they're assuming that you're going to do a foundation to somewhat match it. So, so just know that normally I'd be a lot darker than this, right? A lot darker. So like the color of my wall dark. So, so keep that in mind. Okay, but the techniques are still going to be the same. So I usually use a couple pumps of my foundation. I love using a foundation brush. Okay, it is a little bit different than in case you don't know, a regular loose powder brush, because if you notice a loose powder brush, the bristles are really wide and kind of, you know, a little foofy, right? So whereas a foundation brush, the bristles are really dense and they're compact, and yes, they move, but they're really, really dense. And usually the brush is a little thinner, and usually it says foundation brush. You can also use a beauty sponge, wet it down, and I like the coverage of my foundation brush. Actually, it gives me really nice full coverage. So what I usually do is just dab it in. Don't dab all of it, and then I kind of use like a stippling effect. And yes, I do cover my eyes. Just kind of helps set my eyeshadow as well. You can do a little bit of a blend motion. If you blend blend up a little bit. Okay, never blend down. Help gravity work for you, not against you. Especially if you have aging skin like I do. Need any help we can get, right? I'm gonna need some more. I didn't put enough on my palette. But it is a full coverage makeup. As you can see, it's really evening out my skin tone. And this one actually is a little darker for me anyway, so I'll be looking kind of funny out in public today, but that's okay. It's to benefit you, this tutorial. Go into your hairline. Very important you get into your hairline, a little bit behind your ear, and make sure you're getting down your neck. Also make sure you get along your jawline. A lot of people kind of stop here and then they get down here and they miss their whole, that along your jaw. So go down into your neck, blend it up. Don't forget behind your ear. Another hint is, because remember with spray tan you might want to dab a little bit on your ear, because otherwise your ear is not going to match. So I'm not going to worry about it too much today, because like I said, I don't have a pre-tan done. That's pretty good. I forgot to bring my good quality mirrors, so I can't really tell what's going on. Okay. And if I didn't say so earlier, but if you have, when you do your makeup, if you happen to have your hair done already, fabulous. You might want to pull it back a little bit. Personally, I would do my hair after the fact. That way it's pulled back. And then I know I'm wearing like a shirt today, but when I did my makeup, I already had my suit on, and then I invested in just a little silk robe. I got it off Amazon for like $8 or something. Just a silk robe that covered, you know, went down to my knees, so that way I can arrive already dressed. But if you have your suit on, you want to make sure you cover it up while you're doing your makeup, just in case. You never know. Okay. So not too bad. Okay. All right, so then we're going to set our makeup with a little bit of powder. So the powder I'm using, it comes in this little tube thing right here, and it has a brush, but I like to have a little bit more control, because it's great for travel, but I like to have a little more control. So I actually opened it up and just dumped a little bit into this container. So I'm going to use that same foundation brush. Remember that I have my foundation on. I'm just going to lightly tap it in here. If you don't know the technique called baking, it's basically kind of pressing that powder into, I mean, you could use a powder brush, but the powder gets everywhere, but I want it to really set in my makeup. So I'm going to use that same foundation brush and go along my whole face and not hardcore bake it on there, but it's, you know, pressing it in there and really setting. Forgot to dust it off. Woo. And when you set your foundation, that really helps it stay also. Okay. Awesome. Okay, So now let's go ahead and do some contouring. So some of the eyeshadows I'm going to show you in a minute. One of them you can actually use multi-purposes. I'm going to use it on my eyes, my eyebrows, and you can actually use it to help contour. The whole purpose of contouring is to get your outer edge of your face and inner corners of your nose a little bit darker, kind of add a shadowing effect, and that way your inner part of your face is brighter, so it kind of illuminates the major parts of your face. Okay, so we can always go darker. So my recommendation is to start out light, and then you can always go darker. So I'm going to, this is actually, it's a cream to powder, it's an eyeshadow, but I'm going to use it multiple ways. You know, more bang for my buck, right? So make sure I grab the right one. I'm going to, this is also, by the way, all the brushes I'm using are pretty much e.l.f. brushes. Okay, so drugstore brushes, they do great. e.l.f. works fine, and it does fabulous. So this one is a contour brush. See how it's flat and wide, so that way you're going to contour it. We're going to go right here. Don't go past the iris of your eye. Okay, don't go way over here. So we're going to stop right around here. And you kind of got to tell, if you do your little kissy face, that's your cheekbone. That's where your blush is going to go. A little bit higher is highlight. Our contour is right below that cheekbone. We're going to kind of cave it in a little bit. And I like to start from my hairline. Like I said, don't go past, I would say, this outer corner of your iris. Okay, I like to blend it immediately. Notice I'm going get freaked out. We're gonna do some more to it. So sorry, I mean to, okay. Bit more over here. Blend it out just a little bit. So hopefully you can see it's adding some definition. Okay. Add a little bit on my hairline. And I'm actually going to brush it into my hairline. And you're thinking, well, wow, that looks crazy because it's such a, you know, shift in colors, right? Light, dark. But from a distance, and we're going to blend it out just a little bit more in a minute. Gotta move my hair. Now you can use a bronzing powder, and this is how you guys, if your shade that you choose, your foundation shade, isn't quite matching your pre-tan, this is how you're gonna get darker, okay? And I know it looks red, but it's brown, trust me. For some reason, this lighting is horrible, sorry. It's brown, trust me. But this is how you're going to get your face to match your pre-tan, is a buttload of bronzer, pretty much, and contouring. I'm going to bring it a little bit along my jawline. Oops, hello, wrong end. You can always add more. So now I'm going to do is take that same angle brush. I'm lightly going to put it, I'm not even really going to put, I might be able to put a dab. Like seriously, just a dab. A couple dabs. Because I'm adding some shadow in the corner of my nose. If you want to go a little bit darker, if that's not dark enough for you, you can take a darker foundation as well, okay, and add it a little darker. So I have a darker foundation that I'm going to put on my palette, and again, like I said, I'm going to put on my palette. And I'm barely going to, there it is, guys. I'm going to use my foundation brush. I'm going to stipple it in there, but I'm going to pick another spot that doesn't have any makeup on it, and I'm going to kind of stipple some of it off because I really just want very little. Whoa. And you can see a lot goes a long way. Holy cow. Darker for sure, didn't I? And I'm blending it, little micro circles around my hairline. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Set fast, did it? Wow. I'm going to go back to that angled brush, and I'm not even going to bother touching that pool. I'm going to just lightly pick up where I stippled it. Wow. Carve it in there. My light keeps going in and out, sorry. Okay. I'm going to take that, because I found that darker, I'm going to take that, just this brush, kind of clean it all up. And don't worry, we still have yet to do the highlight, and you know, when the whole face is pulled together, you'll be like, whoa. Okay. Because first time I tried contouring, I was like, holy hell. Okay. So now let's actually add some highlight. I'm going to, now you can use your concealer. Like I have my concealer that I put on before my foundation. I actually wanted it to bring out more highlight. So this is actually another eyeshadow that what I'm going to do is just bring it up here, and we're going to kind of create triangles down here. Let's see if I can. So I'm going to highlight above. And this one's not like super, super bright. And I'm also going to draw a line down my nose. Because remember, we shadowed right there. So we want to add a little more oomph. And I'm going to take a fluffy brush and rub that in. And you can tell when people get crazy with their highlighter because it's just like a unicorn coming at you, just bright as heck can be. So it's up to you. Personally, I like to highlight, like add more light, but not so overkill dramatic that it looks ridiculous. That's my opinion. Okay. Now remember, we have the darker shade right there, so I'm going to run just along my nose and bring it up. Just kind of lightly bring it up. That helps lift your eyes too. Kind of brightens up your eyes. See, I'm bringing it past. Okay, next, eyebrows. So remember that original contour color I chose? I'm going to use that on my eyebrows. So I'm going to throw a little bit on my palette in a different place because remember I have foundation on there. And so here's my little dot. Then I'm going to take an angled brush. See? Hopefully you can see that. And I'm just going to lightly pick it up. Since this is a cream, I'm just going to fill in my eyebrows with a smooth, soft hand. Don't press too hard. And notice I'm not going into the corner just yet. And I'll tell you why in a second. If you don't pay much attention to your eyebrows right now, excuse me, might I suggest you find an Ulta and go get your brows done at the brow bar. Ugh, fabulous. Okay, don't go to just a regular salon because I did that with some little beauty salon and they waxed them and they were completely uneven and it was horrible. So Ulta has a brow bar that will do a fabulous job for like 22 bucks. It's awesome. You know what? I'm going to do this side. Ever so lightly going in my brows. Like I said, it's a cream to powder eyeshadow, so it's pretty cool. You can actually, if your brows like are kind of weird, a weird brownish black, you can mix colors. It's pretty cool and get an exact shade. So, okay. So remember, a natural brow usually is kind of light right here and then gets darker. So the reason why I fill it in last, because I want majority of my product on this part of my brow. So I'm barely, remember there's not much left on my brush right now. I'm really just barely touching. And I'm going in the direction of my hair that my hair grows on my eyebrow. Let me get just a little bit more. Like I I said, you can always add more if you want to. But it's really hard to correct mistakes when you have too much, right? Okay. So then, you know what? I think I am going to add just a tad bit more. Excuse me a moment. And if it gets a little dark right there and you don't like that, then I'll show you a little trick. Like that's, I'm going to feather that out just a little bit. The outer edge of your eyebrow should line up with the your line of your eye right there. So if your eyebrows are pretty sparse, you may have to fake it. Kind of draw it out just a little bit. Okay. Well. Okay, so what I do is I have a little brush, an eyebrow brush. Some of them, I actually prefer what they call a spooler. It's the one that looks like a little corkscrew. But I don't have it on me at the time. So what I do is I lightly kind of, real gently scrape like the corner and see how it kind of feathers it a lot. And then real lightly just brush the rest of it through to make sure your eyebrows are smooth and going. Pretty good. Okay. Yay! All right, next, eyeshadow. Okay, so to get a clean line, this is what I did last year for you eyeshadow novices. Not masking tape, Scotch tape. I get the frosted, okay, and get a pretty decent size. I want to line it up, like I said, that line right there. See, I might have to get a longer piece. I like the frosted because it doesn't seem to be as tacky. They do have those shadow guards that kind of do the same thing, but I don't know, they got in my way because they kind of come down and I don't know, it kind of tripped me out. Just having a hard time. Okay. And then with the frosted, since it's not that glossy texture, any overspill of your product, like your eyeshadow, your eyeliner, all that stuff, will kind of adhere to the frosty, you know, and it'll peel right off. Okay. Try to make sure they're. And if it takes a little bit of your foundation off, it's probably just a little bit of the powder, honestly, but we can always go back and touch it up. I'm gonna move it up just a little bit under my eye. Take your time, get it right the first time, guys. Off just a little bit. So I'm kind of a stickler. That's pretty good. Okay, so I'm not gonna do anything elaborate with my eyes, guys. I do like to add a little bit of bling. From what I read, okay, from all the top competitors, they all said, do not match your eyeshadow with your suit. So if your suit is blue or green, don't go blue and green, because it just, you know, looks way too much. So I thought, you know, rose gold is super hot right now, so like a gold sparkle, you know, would pretty much go with everything, right? In your suit, black, red, pretty much everything. It'll look pretty. So kind of a neutral pinkish, but yet gold. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that same, remember that I used for my eyebrows just now? I'm going to use that. Let me see which one I like. I'm going to use that same color, and I'm going to just put my base on there. Actually, I lied to you. I'm going to use that. Remember the color I used for my highlight? I'm going to use that as my base on my eyelids. Now, find a really good fluffy brush. Now with this one, since it's my lighter base, you can actually pick up a little bit. I have a flat brush right here that I'm using, and take it right above your eyebrow and kind of shape up your eyebrow a little bit too. Kind of a cool little trick. Bring it all the way to your tape. Now I'm going to use just like a medium color, the one I did with my eyebrows. And again, I'm going to put it on my palette because I want to just barely pick it up. I'm not going to apply it directly to my lids because I really want to blend it out. And a little bit goes a long way. So let me find me a good fluffy brush. Which one do I want to use? Okay, just another flush brush that has end product on it. I'm just going to barely pick it up. I am not going to raise it up to the top where my crease is. I have hooded eyes, so I'm barely just going to put it below that crease. My tape's trying to come up. Let me get a little more product. And then I'm gonna do the windshield wiper effect. If you open up your eye a little bit, you can dig it in that crease a little bit. I want it to go just a little bit above my crease, just so obviously you can see it, but I'm not bringing it way up. That's where a lot of people get in a lot of trouble with eyeshadow. And it just looks horrible. And the brush I'm using, it's a fluffy brush, but it is kind of flat. So those flat, fluffy brushes really blend nicely. It allows you to get into that crease. Okay. And don't worry, I'm gonna smooth it all out in a minute. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of a darker brown, and remember, a little bit goes a long way. So we wanna add a little bit of darkness to the corner of your eye. So I am going to take, trying to keep all my brushes separate so I know which ones I used on which. Okay, this one is still fluffy brush, but it's kind of round and pointy. So, and I'm literally just pulling out my, picking up the tiniest dot. Like I said, I can always add more, but it's hard as hell to take it away, right? When you make a mistake. Okay, and find a really big fluffy brush. And I'm kind of just swirling it around, but kind of in that corner, like there's a little pocket right there of your eye, where your eyeball is. Just kind of swirling it around. Stippling it on with that brush, and then I'm taking my big fluffy brush, stippling, kind of blending. Notice I'm not moving up, and that tape is helping me. See how it's on my tape? It's helping me so it's not going to end up all over my cheek too. And then take that all over brush that I had just a minute ago. Oops. This one had the light. Not a problem. Here's my all over brush. Couldn't find it. I'll blend out in a minute. Okay. Then the bling. Okay. I've got some super duper pretty rose gold with like glitter in it. Now, although it does stay pretty well, I did invest, this is NYX glitter primer. So if you just put on a little bit, I'm going to use another, let me find a different flat brush. One that I haven't used already. That's pretty good. Okay, I'm just gonna dab a little bit on there and put it on my eye. And notice I'm doing it in the center of my eye a little bit, not carrying it over to the corner. I'm doing that for a reason. Gonna create kind of a halo effect, as they call it. Okay, kind of let it dry just for a split second here. Doesn't take long for it to set. Okay, now I'm gonna take that glitter in it. It's a cream to powder too, but it has micro glitter in it. So, and I'm gonna put it directly that set for a minute. Okay. Then I wanted to add just a little bit lighter color and more of a little highlight in there. So this one has a little bit of a pink hue. It's a shimmer kind of frost. So on the eye, just not that much of a pink. Notice I'm kind of hitting my tear duct a little bit. Kind of adding a little touch to it. We're going to blend all of this together. Well, not all, but just, you'll see. Take that same flat brush I just used for that primer. There we go. Probably thinking, oh my God, she's a hot mess, right? Okay, so now find my little, another little brush I haven't used, and I'm just going to barely tap where the colors are meeting. So it looks like a nice smooth transition. And really barely feathering it out also. Like I said, I know my light's crazy, I'm sorry. Okay, eyeliner. Okay, ready? All right, so if you invest in one good brush, this is what I found, and oh my God, it's so worth it. Okay, this is a Sigma E06 winged liner, and look how teeny tiny. Let me show you in comparison where the liner, this is a normal brush, here's your Sigma. See how teeny tiny? Okay, so I'm going to take my black eyeshadow, and again, it's cream to shadow, but put it on my palette, because remember I said a little bit goes a long way, so swipe it on my palette. See right there? Sorry, right there. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. So, see, remember, figure out how far you want your wing to go, okay? I'm gonna go about right here, maybe to the base of my eyebrow. That wing is, I'm gonna think about halfway, like right at the base of your color right there, of your eye, your iris, right there. Imagine putting a dot there and where you want it to end, okay? Go slow, I'm loading up, just barely loading up my brush. Make sure I had the angle right. And this is where your tape is really going to help you get that crisp line. So I need to put some more on my thing. What did I just do with it? Oh my goodness. I just lost my black. There it is. You can see it in the with the wing, you want it to be tiny in your inner corner. And get larger as it goes out to your eye. Now, can crisp up this. Remember I told you right there I want it to stop, so I'm going to kind of create a little triangle. It's going to be a little wider right there. Make sure my tape is stuck down. Come on, just a little bit more right there. Oops. Well, I filled in a little too much right there. It's okay. Okay, that's all right. Excuse me 1 second. Husband is texting me, wondering what I'm doing. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's try the other side. And what I found is your eyeliner and your eyelashes pull the whole thing together, guys. So if you practice anything before you go, practice your eyeliner. Notice I'm not pulling my skin. You know how some people pull it and then do the eyeliner. You know, in my 20s, I could have got away with that because, you know, my skin around my eyes wasn't so loose. But 45 years old now, and when I notice when I do that and do my eyeliner, as soon as I let go, because remember the skin is loose, it just looks like a blob. It's horrible. And from what everything I've read and seen, people saying don't. That's a bad habit to do anyway because you're stretching out your skin prematurely. So. Hardest part is figuring out if your wings are even before peeling off your tape. little bit of faux pas there, but oh well. I think with my lashes on, you're not going to really tell. Almost stretched my skin. Y'all see that? Habits are hard to break, right? Alright, I'm going to leave it alone because I have a feeling it's going to get worse if I keep screwing with it. Okay. So I'm real gently gonna peel my tape off. So I have a nice cut of my shadow, which I can blend a little bit. It did take off a little of my foundation, but that's okay. Okay, so go back in with that foundation brush I had just a minute ago and real lightly. Okay. Alright, I'm going to add a little bit, that same black. I still have some on my palette right there. I'm going to take, this is kind of a dense, I think might have used it when I did my brown, but that's okay. So I'm going to take just a tiny bit. I want to press it. You know what? I lied to you. I'm going to take this, another, and that way I can really get it lined. Press into my lash line there. Then I'm going to take that pencil brush kind of thing and kind of real lightly smudge it out. Okay, now blush. We haven't put on any blush. We remember we did our contour and our highlight. Our blush, if you remember, goes right on top of your cheekbone. I'm not going to extend it forward. This is a cream blush. It is highly concentrated, so the tiniest dot, no joke. See that teeny tiny dot? That's actually probably too much. It is so highly concentrated. Okay, so again, e.l.f. This is a blush brush. See how it's kind of angled? Kind of fluffy. So I'm going to tap it in there, and then remember what I did, how I kind of stippled it out here, just to kind of get a little bit off my brush, because I can always add more, but it's hard to take away. So don't go down, because that's your contour. Go towards your hairline. Told you that was bright. That's all right. We'll fix it in a minute. Woo! Holy cow. And that's not using the whole thing, guys. Seriously, it's so concentrated. Oh my gosh. Okay. Remember that foundation brush? This is your best friend. Because remember, it had some of that contour and foundation. little mini circles out to my hairline. Gosh, that side is just cray-cray, isn't it? We might have to add some more foundation right there. Wow. It's alright. We can always build. Not a problem. I'm just getting a tad bit of foundation. Now, actually on the Friday night, the show, remember the finals? That might be alright, how bright that blush was. Because remember, the stage lights are a lot different for the final show. But for the pre-judging, where it's just harsh fluorescent lighting in a back room with a panel of, you know, what, 3 or 4 judges? Yeah, that would have been too crazy. Okay. Okay, guys. Much better. Woo! Save the day. Okay, lashes. Now, there's lots of lashes on the market. Again, if you're just starting out, I mean, don't go extravagant. The ones I actually love is Ardell, and they made a new line called the Faux Mink. I know that might be backwards. Sorry. Oh my gosh, they're so soft. Okay. These ones I actually love. This is the 811. However, they are very long and dramatic. So, I mean, they came out, wow, like va va voom on me. So, but I do love this Faux Mink. They are just so gorgeous. I also like more the cat eye look. So, if you notice the inner, however they are in the package, that's how you're going to put them on your eyes. Okay. So, this is the inner corner. So, notice how it gets smaller and then tapers. So that way, you know, it's that way it's a longer lash at the end. So I'm actually not going to use these today. I did buy one of the other one. It's from Ardell as well. This one's called Studio Effects. It's just not the Faux Mink. Okay, so, but they look gorgeous as well. They're just not as long. Okay, so, get my little gadgets here. I did go ahead and buy this little tweezer. It's from Ardell as well. There's some other ones out that you can buy, probably some nicer ones. This one does the job. I like that it has kind of a wide handle. Okay. When you peel your lashes off, guys, I always start, I just kind of take my nail, kind of see it, and I barely just kind of grab it. Don't rip them off, but go slow here. Okay. Because they will tear. I've broken them before. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is it has a little bit of a tacky adhesive on it when you first buy it. Okay. So you want to kind of place it on there because not everyone's eyes are, you know, shaped the same. Some are shorter. So you kind of want to place it on there. And I'm trying to do this in camera. So you can use tweezers as well. I like this because it, you know, really grabs it. And notice I'm not going in from the side. I'm going in at an angle, okay? I'm just lightly placing it on there because I want to check the placement. Do not go to the inner corner of your eye. So pretty much just a little bit past the iris is where your natural your eyelash line starts. Okay, so when you place it on there, if you feel like they're too long, don't be afraid to take your scissors, microtip scissors, and maybe snip off just the tiniest few lashes at the inner. Okay, so they actually fit my eyes pretty well. So I got a brush on. This is, I don't know what this brand is, Duo. Again, there's all kinds of brands on the market. So with my eyelash here, let me center it, clip there. Okay, I like the brush on, honestly, and this it's kind of funky. It has like a little bit of a neon glow to it. I mean, it dries clear, obviously. There's some that dry black. So, you want to do your very best to Get it just on the strip without getting it all over the lashes as well. Okay? Particularly pay attention to the ends and add a little extra dollop of glue on the very ends of the lashes. Obviously the whole strip, right? But because you normally, when your lashes start coming off, it's obviously on the ends. So wait about 30-40 seconds. You can blow on it if you want. You want it to get tacky. I mean, you know, if you're in a hurry, you could dive sitting on there, but if, you know, it kind of is like a slip and slide on your eye. So this one, you can, it'll kind of get, see how how's that neon blue? That's how I kind of know it's starting to get tacky, is it turns, it's kind of this iridescent white, and then as it gets dry, it turns into kind of like a neon blue. But it's clear on your eye. Okay. Okay, again, so I kind of put my thing in the center of my lashes. I'm going to line that up more, not in the center of my eye, because if I line it right here, those lashes come way to my corner. And that's where a lot of people get annoyed as hell, because they're like, you know, you can feel that lash right there and it just drives you buggy. So I line up the center of my lashes like right here. Okay. Yep. One more thing. Forgot to tell y'all. Dang it. Before you put on lashes, I'm going to top off just a little bit of mascara. Just a little bit. So my natural lashes, because my natural lashes are kind of light. You can put them on after you put your falsies on, but if you have real expensive falsies, your mascara is actually going to ruin your falsies. And some falsie eyelashes are like 30-40 bucks a pair. It's like ridiculous. Okay. Try to get it as low to your lash line as possible. Okay, then this is what's cool. See how it's curved? Check it out. I'm going to place it against those falsies and my lashes and crimp them together. So it's not only pressing it against my lash line, it's really pushing it close to my natural lashes, which is sweet. Ta-da! Okay. All right. Tack on a little bit of mascara on this side. I'll do my bottom lashes in a minute. You take care of them. I mean, you can wear your lashes, I don't know, 5 or 6 times probably, without a whole lot of buildup of adhesive. Contacts are not wanting to play nicely with me today. There's my glue. Remember to add extra to the ends. Not a huge glob, but extra. Got it on my lips. Okay. Remember, I'm not going to center my lashes. I'm going to kind of move the center of my lashes over here. And my left hand is where I always struggle. Let me add a little extra on that corner because it was being kind of funky just a minute ago. Oh, there we go. Yep. That would have been bad. I'm right-handed, so my left side is always the one that gives me a hard time. That part of the lash wanted to. And it'll dry clear, so don't be like, ah. Come on, dude. Now, one thing I learned, like, I'm gonna wait just a second for that. So obviously I had some glue kind of overspill, but that's okay, it'll dry clear. But when I crimp it down, make sure this crimper is good and clean every time you put on your lashes, because if there's any glue residue, when you go to crimp it, right, it's gonna peel them right off because it sticks. It's like, ah, sucks. So I know I'm gonna get glue on this, so I'll have to really clean it when I'm done. I'm holding it with my other hand because I'm really nervous that it's gonna stick. See? Ah. Now those Va Voom ones, yeah, that's probably what I would wear for the final. Okay, so now back to, remember I had that black eyeliner with that teeny tiny brush. Where did it go? There it is. I am gonna add, just go over that lash line, kind of helps blend those falsies, because if you didn't get it exactly on your lash line, you want to kind of blend it in. Okay, so I'm just loading up my palette again. I'm not gonna go out here. I'm just adding a little more black right on top of those falsy lashes. Honestly, I might bring it in a little more. See, told you the lashes make everything. Okay, so last I wanted to do a lip color that was like bright but yet had a shimmer, because remember, normally my face would be really dark, right, really tan, my pre-tan. So a lighter pink would pull out some of that pink and it would look pretty stunning, right, on a darker. So this is called Lip Sense. Okay, it is smudge proof and it stays on all day, even after you eat and drink and stuff like that. So I would pack it with, you know, like on Friday, like I told you, if you're doing the seminars and stuff like that, I would bring, you know, some of the stuff where I can reapply if need be. But with some of the long wear cosmetics, you won't have to. Like, for instance, my eyebrows and stuff like that, I wouldn't have to do it again. So with the lip sands, I don't know if you're familiar with it, you have to make sure your lips are clean and dry. Where did I put it? Actually, they sell an actual, a little, like a remover, because it stays on so well. It's called Oops. So when it just helps kind of clean your lips a little bit. And of course I forgot to bring in a towel, so I'm wiping with my fingers. That's so bad, I'm sorry. Okay, it's just helping, it will help my lip color bond to my lips. So, I used to use an eyeliner, and then when I started using this, I was like, holy shit, I don't need an eyeliner, or a lip liner, I'm sorry, lip liner. And so, because if you notice, it has a little bit of a, they call it a doe's foot, I think they call it. See where it's angled? Okay, so I use the tip of that, and I use that to line my lips. And the thing is that with this, because it is a liquid lip color, you can't go back and forth. So notice it, I'm using that tip to line my lips. And it works fabulously. The nice thing is that it has like cosmetic grade alcohol in it, so you will feel like a tingling, and but that's what helps bond to your lips. So I love it because it stays on. So I'm gonna let it dry for a minute. It's kind of tacky, like it's strange, but it works really well, I swear. Okay, so you gotta let it dry. In order, the lip sands, you have to do 3 layers. Okay, so each layer is gonna get a little bit darker and darker, not darker, but darker, I guess. Okay. Since I already did the lining on the first coat, I'm not obviously going as slow on the second or third coat. Okay. Let it dry. Gotta let it dry. Love my eyes, love my eyes. Okay, ready? And so check it out. I mean, I know it doesn't quite match my rose gold, but if you wanted to, you can, you know, since you do several coats, you can actually mix colors of the lip sense. It's pretty cool. You can make your own lip colors. Pretty sweet. Okay. Well, that's drying. Let's take my hair down. So last year I think I had my hair super straight. I had my hair up in a bun the last day because I've been working outside a lot, so kind of got that natural wave to it. It's kind of cool. Okay, so since it is tacky, you got to you have to seal it with a gloss, right? So they make like tons of different glosses. I wanted to try to match that rose gold, so I chose it's called Sand Gloss. It just has a little bit of brown to it, but nice thing is it actually, so it'll seal it in, and it actually moisturizes your lips too, because remember it has a little bit of that alcohol in it, so it kind of tones down that pink a little bit. It's going to add a little bit of that bronze to it. And check it out, it didn't come off on my wand. Yay! So, in all honesty, I would probably add a tiny bit more contouring. But like I said, I didn't go super crazy with the prejudging. So, because, you know, it is fluorescent lighting, and it's, I mean, a bright, bright room. So, now, but for the finals, yeah, you could definitely go a lot darker with, and, you know, darken up your face. I know it doesn't tell I'm dark, but trust me, you can see that it doesn't match my neckline. So, but just know that obviously you'd be doing this after your pre-tan, right? So I hope you learned some stuff, and I hope you all look amazing. Just practice. My hair's a hot mess, sorry. So I hope you learned some stuff, and if you have any questions, I'll be happy to help you guys. So feel free to reach out to me, and good luck on the show, guys. Good luck on your competition. Have a great day. Bye.